Hey, what's up, guys? I'm an 80-year-old man gonna teach you about real estate today. So what we're gonna talk about is how to calculate your list price.
I'm going to explain to you exactly why we do what we do and how everything goes down. I'm going to show you how to grow your business. These are the things that work in today's markets. You're going to love what we did in here. All right, we're going to go start making some money. Here's how you do it. Hey, what's up, guys? John Cochran here, and today is System Saturday, the day that I bring you a system that I use in my business that you can rip off, duplicate using your own local market. Now, on today's System Saturday, what we're going to talk about is how to calculate your listing price whenever you're getting ready to sell a particular property. Now, guys, this goes whether you are a real estate investor or just a realtor going to be listing a property up onto the market. This is the most crucial part, in my opinion, of actually getting a property to sell, is coming up with that correct price that the public will buy it at. And it's very, very simple whenever you really break it down. And guys, I will tell you this, the price that you bring it to the market to, should be the price that it should be selling for. So don't try any of this. You know, hey, if the comps and everything, I'll probably end up getting 130 out of it, but let's list it at 140 or 150 and just let the buyers take me down on that. Guys, it does not work. We list all of our properties for exactly what we get for every single one of them. Now, the goal on this is to get them into multiple offer situation and get more for that. However, but I'm just telling you right now that we list our properties for exactly what we want of them. We don't pad it up, or we don't do any of that stuff. We list for exactly what we want. But how do you calculate this listing price to come up with that magic figure? How do you do that? And it all comes down to the very first thing that you got to do, and you got to pull comparables around your property. Now, when you pull comps or comparables, you do this very, very simply. You want to go anywhere between a quarter mile to a half of a mile around your subject property in a radius search. Particularly, you want to go a quarter mile around your subject property. And you're also, when you're pulling comps, finding out what your value is, you're looking for all these properties around yours that sold within the past 6 months. Now, why that? Why do I want sold properties within the past 6 months? Guys, that is the most accurate way to literally find the value of your property. If you're not going to go and find the value, an accurate value of a property, if you search a mile around your property, and you go back 2 years, the market changes so much. So you need to be looking for other properties that sold within 6 months of your list date, and that the properties that were a quarter mile around your subject property that have the similar bedrooms, baths, and square foot of the property that you're getting ready to list. This is huge. Now, once you find all the comps, once you find all of these comparables, and you find out, there was, X amount of properties, and that's another thing, is that you want to have anywhere between at least 2 to 3 sold comps. If it doesn't have 2 to 3 sold comps on it, guys, you shouldn't even have bought that property, but you have to have sold comparables to go by. Now, when you have these sold comparables and you do this search, the search is always going to come straight from the MLS. It doesn't come from Zillow, it doesn't come from Trulia, it doesn't come from Realtor.com, it doesn't come from JohnCochran.com. It comes straight from the MLS because that's going to be the most accurate data. Pulling this into the MLS will give you a great idea of what other properties a quarter mile away from your subject property are actually selling for. It's going to tell you those numbers and how long days on market. Now, coming up and calculating your list price when you're going to be selling, you need that information. But let's just really dumb this down for you. Now, all you have to do is you just need to identify what retail would be on your particular property that you're selling. If it was already fixed up, it was fixed up to the nines, what would retail be? That's the magic number. You got to find out what retail would be. So if you calculate and you look at all these comparables and you come up with a retail figure of, let's say $100,000, and maybe you're going to be wholesaling this property off. But retail is $100,000. So you're going to be looking for, your target buyer is going to be a real estate investor. So when they go to fix that property up and they sell that property, it's already fixed up, they're going to retail it for $100,000, right? So if your exit strategy is to wholesale this property, you take the retail figure times 0.5 equals your list price. So in this case, it's just 50%. So in this case, if you identify retail, and you're going to be wholesaling this deal off, if you identify retail at $100,000, you're going to be wholesaling this property off or listing this property for $50,000, which obviously means that you have to buy it way below or below this $50,000 in order to create a spread in that deal. And this will give your wholesaler, your other real estate investor, it will give them enough skin into the game to where they can make money onto the deal. Probably somewhere around this. You're selling it for $50,000. Let's just say you bought it for $45,000. You're selling it for $50,000. You're going to make $5,000. The wholesaler's going to put, or the investor's going to put, $25,000 in this thing. So they got $70,000, $72,000 wrapped up in this. They're going to sell it for $100,000. They can make $25,000 on that all day. That's the formula. 0.5. Take retail times 0.5 equals your list price. That's if you're going to wholesale a deal off. Now, if you're going to prehab that deal, the formula is very, very similar. You got to start with your comps. You have to start with your comps, go a quarter mile away, look for the sold properties within 6 months. You need 2 to 3 sold comps, and they're coming from the MLS. You do the same exact process. You have to identify the retail value first. Okay? So if you're going to take and prehab this deal, you're going to make this property rental ready, a pre-rehab. Not everything's going to be new in it, but it's going to be pretty nice. You're looking for an average buyer, not a buyer that gets emotional about it, but an average buyer, somebody that's actually looking for a little bit of a deal, something a little bit off of that retail value. The formula is very, very simple. You take retail value, so you take the retail value, and you times that by 0.1, which is 10%, equals your list price. Very, very simple. So if you take and you identify that your retail value on a prehab is going to be $100,000, so you got $100,000 and you take 10% off of that, that means that your list price is going to be $90,000. Okay? So that's a deal. That's a deal. It's $10,000 off of retail. However, when we calculate our list price, we will never put anything up onto the market for $90,000. Never. Okay? So in this case, we would put that right up onto the market for $89,900. We always will round down or something because $89,900 sounds, it's not, but it sounds a lot cheaper than $90,000. Very, very simple. Now, if you have a deal that you just rehabbed this thing, I mean, this thing is awesome. You put all the new doors in it, the new roof, the new windows, you put everything inside of it, the trim, the tile, the carpet, the floor, everything, the kitchen, everything inside of this thing is new, and you rehabbed this deal, you go through this same exact process. You go and you pull your comps a quarter mile away from your subject property within 6 months from the MLS, and you need 2 to 3 sold comps. You take the retail value, that's exactly what you list it for. So retail value equals your list price. Okay? Very, very simple. So in the same exact situation, if you get and you rehab this property, you take the retail value, and let's just say that it is $100,000, you're going to be listing that property at $100K, but where would John list it? $99,900, because $99,900 sounds way cheaper. Now, let me just cover this for you real quick. So why did we not price this? Why did we not pad this? Is like what I said. So at the very beginning of this video, I shared with you, our list price is our list price. So why did I not say, you know what, on this we rehabbed it, it's nice. Let's price this thing at $109,900. $109,900, because I'm willing to take $99,900 for it, but let's just price it at $109,900. The market's super, super hot. Guys, a lot of people do that, but let me tell you behind the scenes on what happens with that and what buyers actually do. So if you take this property and you list it at $109,900, knowing that you want the $99,900 figure for that house, or the $100,000 for that house, your mind just says, well, I'll just let them come in and take it down off a list price, okay? That's where your mind thinks. However, what you don't know and what you actually do when you do that is you miss so many different buyers, and you literally just chop them out of the equation. So if a buyer is approved and they're approved up to $100,000, they're never even going to know about this price because they're not going to be looking at properties for $199,900. They're approved for $100,000. That's why we do it that way, is because, you know, if a buyer right here, if they're approved to $90,000, if they're approved to $100,000, they'll never know about any of that stuff. So that's why we don't pad any of those in our list price. Our list price is exactly what we want for it, but that's a formula. Retail times 0.5 is your list price. Retail times 0.1 or 10% off is your pre-habbing price, and retail value is your list price whenever you rehab your property. So guys, like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, comment below. Let me know what you think of these formulas. I don't go by any Mayo or 70% or any of that jazz. We don't do any of that stuff. We just make it a simple math and it works. So comment on this video below and I'll see you on the next System Saturday. I'm out.